Great Aunt Pat reads A Hero Named Howe. This is for the sportsmen in our little group. A really good story about hockey. Okay, here's the cover. This is by Mike Leonetti, illustrated by Greg Banning. It was a hot day in August, but my mind was on ice hockey. Dad was driving me to the Detroit Olympia for the Detroit Red Wings hockey school. I was excited about meeting the players who were going to be my instructors. Best of all, my hero, Gordie Howe, was going to be there. Gordie Howe was the best player in the National Hockey League. He won the Most Valuable Player award last year when he had 49 goals and 46 assists, and he led the league in points. Howe was named to the first All-Star team, and he led the Red Wings to the finals. But the Toronto Maple Leafs beat them for the Stanley Cup. Oh boy, that's how old this story is, I tell you. Toronto Maple Leafs won a Stanley Cup. So there they are, heading to hockey school camp. Gordie was a big, strong player, and he was fast and graceful on his skates. Few players could catch him, but he had a powerful snapshot, and it seemed like he could score anytime he wanted. Next season, he was going for the record for most goals, and he needed just 5 more to break the great Rocket Richard's mark. I collected all of Gordie Howe's hockey cards. I couldn't wait for the 1963-64 set so that I could get Gordie's first. I had a Red Wings calendar in my room, and Howe's picture was on the first page. I hoped the Red Wings would make it to the finals again this year. There's the picture. There's the picture. At the hockey school, we dressed quickly and skated onto the ice. We warmed up until the Red Wing players came out. I recognized Terry Sawchuk, Alex Delvecchio, Bill Gadsby, and Marcel Pronovost. And then I saw him, Gordie Howe. He looked so big in his bright red sweater with number 9 on the back. We were in awe. I was in the group that was going to be taught by Gordie. What luck! Gordie told us that we should practice all types of shots. He showed us the snap shot, the backhand, the wrist shot, and the slap shot. He said we should keep the goalie guessing about which shot we were going to use. I listened carefully and practiced the way Gordie showed us. Okay. Before our day was finished, we played a game with the Red Wing players. I was on Gordie's team. When Gordie had the puck, nobody could take it from him. It was as if the puck was glued to his stick. I saw him stick handling up the ice, and I skated hard, hoping to catch up. I got into the open, and Gordie quickly passed the puck to me. The goalie and I were both so surprised that I had almost the whole net to shoot at, but I missed it completely. Let's see the picture. There they are. After the game, Gordie skated over to me. "What's your name, son?" he asked. Charles, sir, but everyone calls me Charlie, I replied, trying hard not to shake. Gordy smiled, which made me feel better, and he said, Charlie, I did all that work to set you up and you missed the net. How come? I guess I'm just not that good, I said weakly. That's not true, Charlie. I surprised you with that pass. You'll get better if you practice hard. Try holding your stick like this, Gordy said as he showed me where to place my hands. Always have fun playing hockey and do your best. Let's talk more tomorrow. See, there they are having a conversation. The week flew by. I enjoyed the Red Wing Hockey School and learned many things from Gordie Howe and the others. Summer was over and it was time for regular school. Soon the Red Wing season would begin and I wondered how long it would take Gordie Howe to set the new record. He needed 5 goals. I followed Detroit's games on my transistor radio, listening to Bud Lynch doing the play-by-play on WWJ Radio 950. I loved the colorful way he described the action. On Sunday nights, Dad would let me listen to Foster Hewitt calling games on CBC Radio. Hewitt got excited at just the right moments. On Saturday nights, Dad and I would watch Hockey Night in Canada on Channel 9. I followed every Red Wings game, hoping Gordie would get the record. In his first game, Gordie scored 2 goals when Detroit beat Chicago. He scored another goal against the Boston Bruins, but then went 4 games without scoring. Finally, he scored a goal against the Montreal Canadiens to tie the record. But then another 5 games went by, and Gordie just couldn't score. He was stuck at 544. See him watch the game on the TV with the rabbit ears? You youngsters won't even remember the days of the rabbit ears. Heck, my nieces and nephews might not remember those days. While Gordie Howe was trying to set a new record, I started playing in the Detroit Parks and Recreation League. I was improving, but often had a hard time keeping up with the play. I was a good skater, but hockey moves so quickly. I often felt lost on the ice and my shot was a bit weak. My coach was trying to help, but I wasn't nearly as good as my teammates or as Mark Howe, Gordie's son, who played in the same league. I was discouraged, but I kept practicing like Gordie told me to. Can you see that? See that, guys? I felt better in November on my birthday. Mom bought me a book written by Gordie Howe. The title was Hockey, Here's How, and the cover had a drawing of Gordie and his 2 sons. My favorite uncle gave me Gordie's newest hockey card, but the best gift of all was from Dad, 2 tickets to a Red Wings game. The tickets said Game 8, Sunday, November 10th, 1963. Detroit Red Wings versus the Montreal Canadiens. Hey, Dad, maybe we'll see Gordie break the record, I said, hardly believing I was going to see my first NHL game at the Olympia. And there he is, getting the ticket from Dad for his birthday. That night, I stayed up late reading Gordie's book. He explained how he thought hockey should be played, and I learned many new things about the game. Gordie said you had to be dedicated to hockey all year long, and that you had to work well with your teammates. He also said not to ignore things outside of hockey like family and schoolwork. But the most interesting thing Gordie said was that even though everyone who plays hockey wants to be in the NHL, few are good enough to do it. He said you could find other ways to help your favorite team and that there were many jobs in hockey besides being a player. That's interesting, I thought, before drifting off to sleep. There he is reading the book that his hero, Gordie Howe, wrote. The next day was Saturday. I had fun at my game and played my best, and I finally scored a goal. My coach was happy. At dinner that night, I talked to Mom and Dad about what I read in Gordie Howe's book. I wish I could be a great player and make it to the NHL, I explained. But maybe I could do something else if I can't be a professional player. Is there something you'd like to try, Charlie? Mom asked. Well, I like listening to broadcasters like Foster Hewitt. I might try that, I replied, trying to sound confident. That's a good idea, Dad said. You're going to pay attention to plays. You're good at paying attention. Then Dad had a good idea. Why don't you do the play-by-play during the game tomorrow night, Dad said. It'll be a good opportunity to see if you can keep up with the action. I can try, I said nervously. There they are at the dinner table, having a chat. We used to have lots of great chats at the dinner table when I was a kid, too. The next night, we left early for the Olympia. I could smell the hot dogs and popcorn when we walked in. We bought snacks and a program, and I got a Gordie Howe pennant and photograph. We were looking at a large picture in the lobby of Gordie scoring a goal against Johnny Bauer in Toronto. My dad noticed Foster Hewitt standing nearby. He was at the Olympia to broadcast the game. We started chatting with him. Do you think Howe will set the record this evening? He asked. I hope so, Mr. Hewitt, I said. This might be the only game I see this year, so I hope he sets the goal tonight. Mr. Hewitt, my son is interested in being a hockey broadcaster, Dad said. Do you have any advice? Foster Hewitt smiled. Well, you have to be clear and accurate, especially when you're on the radio, he replied. And make sure you know all the players in the league and pay close attention to which players are on the ice. It's a good job, son. Good luck. He waved and went to prepare for the game. Dad and I went to our seats in section 21 in the balcony, near center ice. We had the first two seats in the last row. Over 15,000 people were crammed into the Olympia to see Detroit and Montreal. Okay, there they are meeting Foster Hewitt, asking questions. There was no scoring in the first period. The Red Wings finally got the first goal when Bruce McGregor scored early in the second period. 5 minutes later, Alex Faulkner scored to make it 2-0 for Detroit. For the next 10 minutes, there was no scoring. Then, Faulkner got a 5-minute penalty for high sticking, and it looked like Montreal had a chance to get into the game. Hey, Charlie, there's a good chance to do a play-by-play with Montreal on the power play, Dad suggested. The Red Wings will try to kill the penalty, so you don't have to worry about them scoring. Give it a try. Let's hear you do it. Okay, Dad. Give me a minute to see who's on the ice, I said, remembering Foster Hewitt's advice. There they are, watching a game from way up high at center ice. Way, way up high. I scanned the players, and a few seconds later, I started my play-by-play. Jean Bellevue of the Canadiens shoots the puck around the boards in the Detroit end. Pronovost picks up the loose puck and gives it to Howe. Howe passes to Billy McNeil, and the Wings start on a rush, with Gatsby joining the attack. 3 Canadiens are trapped in the Detroit end. Only Bellevue and Jacques Lapierre are back for Montreal. I was so excited it was hard to continue. McNeil moves to the middle, fakes a pass to Gatsby, and gives it to Howe. Howe snaps a shot. He scores! Gordie Howe has broken the NHL all-time scoring record. He beat Charlie Hodge in the Montreal net. Howe is leaping for joy behind the Montreal net, and his teammates are mobbing him. "Charlie, that was great," Dad said. "Not bad, kid," said a man standing behind us. "Thanks," I said. "That was perfect timing. My first ever play-by-play was a record-breaking goal by my hero, Gordie Howe." The crowd gave Gordie a standing ovation, and they stopped the game for more than 10 minutes. Jean Bellevue went over to shake Gordie's hand. The Red Wings won the game 3-0. There's the picture of the goalie, Jean Bellevue. After the game, Dad took me to the door where the players come out. Soon, Gordie arrived and was swarmed by people who wanted his autograph. He was patient and signed for everybody. When it was my turn, he said, "I remember you. You're Charlie from the hockey school." "Yes, sir," I said. "I read your book, and I've decided that if I don't make the NHL, I'll try something else to stay with hockey, just like you wrote. Maybe I'll be a broadcaster like Foster Hewitt." "That's a good idea. There are many ways to contribute. You might have a gift for being a broadcaster, or you'll have to work at it if you want to be as good as Foster Hewitt." "That's right," said Foster Hewitt, who had just walked through the doors. "Keep practicing and keep enjoying the game." I smiled at 2 hockey legends. Okay, there we go. On the way home, I looked at the photo of Gordie with his signature. "To Charlie, good luck, from Gordie Howe." I would always treasure it. And I got Foster Hewitt's signature on my program. Dad said, "Gordie Howe and Foster Hewitt are great hockey people, Charlie. If you keep practicing, you might go far playing hockey. But if you don't get to play with the pros, maybe you can be a broadcaster." That'd be great. Doing the play-by-play was fun, and I'll never forget describing Gordie Howe's record goal. I got good advice from Foster Hewitt. If I work at it, I could be good at broadcasting, thanks to Gordie Howe and what he wrote in his book. He's a hero in every way. Okay, there he is with his dad looking at his signed program. And that's the end of the story. So we'll read about Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe was born on March 31st, 1928. That's a long time ago. In Floral, Saskatchewan. I didn't know that. He joined the Red Wings in 1946 and won 4 Stanley Cups with the Detroit. Howe led the NHL in points 6 times in his career and won the Hart Trophy as the league's best player 6 times. He was the first player to record 1,000 career points and was selected to the NHL All-Star team a record 21 times. His highest single-season point total came in 1968-69 when he recorded 103, 44 goals, 59 assists. Howe's career totals include 801 NHL goals, second only to Wayne Gretzky, 1,049 assists, and 1,850 points. He holds the NHL record for the most seasons played, 26, that's a lot, and for most consecutive 20 or more goal seasons with 22. He retired from the Red Wings in 1971, but came back to play in the World Hockey Association in 1973,